Hello everyone, hope everybody's doing great today. Appreciate those who watch this video. I hope you enjoy it. Today we're talking about Rush Hour 3. I have to admit, I haven't seen this movie in almost 20 years. It came out in 2007. I think the last time I saw this was in 2008. And I didn't really enjoy it in 2008. I thought, man, this movie is not very good. It's like the worst Rush Hour movie of the three. So when I rewatched it, I gotta say my opinion changed about the movie. I thought it was better than number one. I still think number two is the best. But I really did enjoy Rush Hour 3. Like, I remember it for the first time. Like, I couldn't remember a lot about the movie. Just remember the feelings, the feels of watching it back in the day, back in 2008. And I feel like the Tucker and Chan's chemistry was off. They weren't really connected. Wasn't as strong as it was in Rush Hour 2. But rewatching it here recently, I was wrong back then. I think they had great chemistry together in this movie. I thought they worked very well together, played off each other very well. And so, I don't know. Time changes everything, I guess. For those who never seen Rush Hour 3, you don't know what it's about. When I first heard this movie was coming out, sorry, coughing. First saw this movie come out, I'll do everything in one take, so I'm not cutting it out. When I first thought of this movie coming out, I thought it was going to be about Chris Tucker's, Carter's father's death, that mystery behind him. Because number two was about, Jackie Chan's, Lee's dad dying, and how, it's kind of tying up loose ends to his dad's death. I thought, well, maybe the three was going to be about Carter's father's death. He supposedly got killed, in a routine traffic stop. Maybe it was something bigger going on there. So I thought that was going to go in that direction. But I kind of like the direction they went to. They kind of tied three with one, kind of make a big old full circle there. So I guess, there's no way they're going to be making a Rush Hour 3 now unless we got the children. I mean, they did have the TV series. I never watched the TV series, so I don't know if there's any tie-ins between the TV series and the movies. But, if they did do Rush Hour 4, I guess it would be like their children going on, meeting up for the first time or something. Which would be a pretty cool idea if Rush Hour 4 is about Jackie Chan's son and Tucker's son. Or maybe Chan's daughter and Tucker's son, or vice versa. That would be pretty cool. That would be a pretty cool storyline. And then you have Tucker and Chan, they have like a 5 or 10 minute cameo, but the movie's about their children. I could go down for that for Rush Hour 4. But I'm not a movie exec, and I'm just a little YouTuber with about 250 subscribers, thereabouts. Got no influence whatsoever, so that's not going to happen. Enough about the daydreaming. Let's get to Rush Hour 3. So this movie, they did have great chemistry together, and I think this movie does, out of the franchise, have some of the best fighting scenes. I thought Rush Hour 2 had some great fighting scenes, but like the scenes between Jackie Chan and the Chinese woman in the hotel room, the woman with the lot of knives, kind of reminds me, for your Resident Evil lovers out there, of Ada Wong. She kind of reminds me of Ada Wong a little bit. I thought those scenes together were great choreography there, great action scenes. You got a little bit of a man in a window reference with that scene, because he's out looking out the balcony, and you got a guy across the street looking out the window, and he's trying to tell him, hey, there's a woman behind you, and she's about to stab you with a knife. But Jackie Chan, he's just waving. He doesn't get what's going on. So you got a little bit of a man in a window reference going on there on that scene. And then the great fight scene breaks out with them. And then at the end on the Eiffel Tower, you got that great scene between him and his brother. It wasn't his biological brother, though, right? I'm trying to remember. That relationship's kind of cloudy to me a little bit, if they were biological brother or if he was just adopted into the family. But anyways, that was a great fighting scene between those two. Very well done with the swords and bouncing up and down on the net, on the Eiffel Tower thing. That was great, and I do kind of like that theme. What is family? Is family just blood? Everybody says, blood is thicker than water. Unless your brother's trying to kill you, right? Then that's not very thick. It seems like him and Tucker had a very better bond together than him and his brother. So it's kind of that theme. What is brother? What is a family? What is your brother? but what is family? Kind of get that theme into it. You also can kind of say like the family from the first movie, they make a reappearance. You got the little girl now. She's a big girl. Somebody's trying to kill her father. A little bit of the plot there. That can be kind of, aunt and uncle, cousin, nephew, niece. I guess that would be niece, uncle, stuff like that. That's part of a family, that blood related, but the closeness of it. As we see behind me, kind of remind me of the Albert Castillo joke, who's on first joke a little bit with Chinese names. They use the name you. You get that good dialogue between Tucker and the master. Very funny scene. I call it's the man on who's on first joke, right? It's very much reminiscent of that joke. It's a very funny movie with scenes like that. You also, great fighting scenes. Oh, I gotta go through my notes. I apologize. I thought I had everything memorized. Better stunts, better fight scenes. What is scene? And then I gotta bring up the French, to go to, there's two other things I like to bring up about this movie. One, you get the taxi driver, the French, French don't really like Americans, I don't think, and Americans don't really like the French, To me and those around me, my community, you think of French people as kind of weak. When you think of French, they always get beat up in the wars. I think that's brought up in the movie, right? They always lose the wars. America always gets to go in there and save their little rear ends. We didn't really save them very well in Vietnam, but, the two world wars. But you got the taxi guy driver. He don't like Americans because Americans are all cavalier with the guns and stuff. And then he gets a little taste of their life, and he wants to become a secret agent. He wants to be American. The cab driver, to me, he gets the perfect side role. He's got the perfect comic relief. Even though you got Tucker there, the cab driver was funnier than Tucker in this movie. He did a very good job playing that role, nailed the part. Kind of steals the movie a little bit in the scenes he's in. I think he's the funniest guy on the screen. Of course, it's not really a comedy; it's an action comedy. But the scenes he's in there, he's like right on par, or sometimes better than Chan and Tucker is. He did a fantastic job in the role. And then one of the things of this franchise is music and songs, and that plays a role in this movie too, keeping up with the other two movies. Kind of like when they're in that cabaret, and Jackie Chan shows up on the swing, and him and Tucker's kind of having like a duet type of thing. It's very corny, very funny, but it fits in with the franchise perfectly. Find it very amusing. I liked it. I liked that part of the movie. And then, they get out of there before the machine guns gets them, shoots them up. And then you got the woman, with the secret names on her head. Kind of like that's part of the storyline too, trying to find out where the list is and why it's so important. Of course, Max von Sydow, I don't know how to say his last name. I'm very poor with names. He plays his normal villain stuff. Every once in a while, that actor will play like a good guy, but I mostly know him from Flash. He's played in a lot of iconic roles. For some reason, Flash Gordon sticks out on mine because maybe I saw it as a kid, and he played the Emperor in that one. But, he's kind of like, you just know that he's not really a good guy in this one. He does a fantastic job playing kind of like the side villain, I guess. In this one, the main villain is Jackie Chan's brother. Like I said, I have a great fighting scene at the end. It's a great movie. It's shot very well. Cinematography is great. Tucker and Chan still has great chemistry. Didn't remember that when I watched it the first time. I just thought, first time I watched this movie, I thought there was something lacking. I didn't think the action scenes were very good. I didn't think the chemistry between Tucker and Chan was very good. And then I watched it all these years later, and I find my younger self was wrong in that. Maybe I was biased. Maybe I was just too biased at that time period because I was so in love with Rush Hour 2. I still think Rush Hour 2 is the best one in the franchise. Anyways, I will recommend this one. Rush Hour is a great franchise. It's only 3 movies long. Perfect for what this is about. And what do you guys think? Do you think Rush Hour 3, do you think it's really bad? Do you think it's one of the better Rush Hour movies? Do you think it's the worst one? Where would you put it? Me, I would say Rush Hour 2, 3, and then 1. All of them are good. 3 just edges out 1 just a little bit, because like the action scenes are better, the comedy is a little better in 3. Everything's really well established in this one. But I would recommend, either one. If nobody's never seen Rush Hour, and like I only had to show them 3, I would put 3 in for them to watch it, so they get a taste of what Rush Hour is like. So let me know in the comments below. Do you like Rush Hour 3? Is this something you like, or do you think that 3 was one movie too many? Hopefully you have a great day. Until next time, adios.